Welcome to Faith in Real Estate. My name is Wanda Rochelle, and I am a licensed realtor and probate specialist serving Georgia and Florida and Alabama.
I am a licensed realtor and probate
Welcome
specialist.
to my channel. I am here today to talk about probate petitions, and we are live. Thank you for those of you that are joining us. And again, we're talking about probate petitions. So, when your loved one has passed away, the first thing that you need to do is file a petition with the probate court. And I'm doing this video today because I realize that a lot of people don't know those terms. And so, first of all, a petition is a formal written request appealing to someone in authority. And so when your loved one has passed away, someone has to go to the court to file a petition. It may be you or it may be the attorney that you hire. But today I'm going to give you some insight on what that petition looks like, what is required. And so let's go ahead and get started. Let's get right into it. So the probate petition, obviously, one of the things that you need to put on the petition is the name of the loved one that has passed away. And so you're going to write your loved one's name, and that would be the full name, first, middle, and last name. And sometimes people have multiple middle names. You want to make sure that you put your loved one's full name on the petition. You also want to put your loved one's complete address, city, state, and zip code. And if there's an apartment number or townhouse number, whatever that may be, you want to make sure you put the complete address. And you're also going to put the day your loved one passed away. Now, it's important to note that all petitions in every state will not be the same. So keep in mind the information that I'm giving today will be general information. But of course, most petitions will require your deceased loved one's name. So I have it here on the screen. The descendant is actually the name that it would be listed as on the document. So you have your loved one's full name, full address, and the date that they passed away. And a lot of times when you're completing the form, you want to make sure that you are writing so that they can read it. You want to make sure it's legible. I like to say legible, accurate, and complete because not everybody can read some people's writing. So make sure that everything is legible. You also will have the name of the person that's completing the petition. And that may probably, in most cases, if there was a will, that may be the executor, or if there was not a will, that may be the administrator. So you're going to put that person's name. And if that is you, it would be your full name also, your address. And I'm looking at an actual petition. It also asks for your mailing address because your physical address may not be the same as your mailing address. And so you now have the person that passed away, and you have the petitioner is going to put their information there also. The form will also ask you, depending on the type of petition that you file, whether they had a will or did not have a will. So if they did not have a will, that is considered intestate. And if they did have a will, that is called testate. And so that is also something that will be on the petition that you filed. And another thing is the name of every heir. And that's where it may get to be a little tricky because there are times where I have seen a lot of heirs. I am currently working a probate case where my client is purchasing a probate home and there are 11 heirs. And so on the form, you want to make sure that you list the name of each heir. You will put the heir's name, how they're related to the person that passed away. You're going to put their address. And again, you want to make sure it's legible because it's important to note that these heirs will be served. Anytime any of them need to be notified, that address needs, you want to make sure that that address is legible so that the court can have the accurate information for when they mail out whatever notices that they receive. So your heirs will have their name, age, in some instances, the address, and that's the full address, and the relationship to the person that passed away. And again, there may be a lot of heirs. There may be one, there may be 11. The most I've seen in my experience is 14 heirs. I want to point out again that this is general information. Each state may be different, and you want to always make sure that you seek legal advice when you're completing the petition. Now, one section I noticed on a petition is it asks, did you include everyone? It's kind of like a paragraph just to reiterate that you have included everyone, and that's intentionally, or maybe you didn't do it. You did it and didn't know you did it, or whatever the case may be. They're going to ask you just to confirm to make sure that you have included everyone. And then I've seen cases where they may say that, let's say they're siblings. If a mother passed away and there were 5 siblings, in that section, you may want to put, and I've seen this where they say one of the children passed away in 1980 or whatever the case may be. So that is a section that may be also on the probate petition. So those of you that are watching, I hope this is good information for you. Please make sure that you click like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, you can put your questions below. I will do my best to answer them for you. Again, today we're talking about probate petitions. And the next part of the petition is what I call the special section. And this section, and I'm going to just actually read it to you. It asks questions about the petition. And so this section says, have all the heirs agreed unanimously as far as who the petitioner is going to be? So has everyone agreed that you, if you're completing it, have all the other 5 heirs or whatever the number may be, has everyone agreed that you are to be the administrator if there's no will? That section also says, if you're the surviving spouse, were there any actions regarding a divorce or any other situations at the time of the person's death? It also asks, if there was not a unanimous decision, have the majority agreed as to who should be the petitioner? Maybe the petitioner is a creditor. That's one of the questions in what I call the special section. Maybe the petitioner is a court administrator. That's another question in that section. Another section in the petition is going to ask the value of the estate, the value of, if there's a property, it may ask where's the property located, what city, what county, and the approximate value of the county. The approximate value of the property. It may also ask for personal property. Was there any cash, any bank accounts, any CDs, any stocks, any bonds, any brokerage accounts, things of that nature? Were there any insurance policies? So that is another section on the petition. All right, let's keep moving. There's another section that, of course, and this is general information again, that may ask if there's any additional information that you want to add, and you would list that there. And keep in mind now, when you're doing this, if you have an attorney, your attorney will be completing this for you. And if you don't, then you'll be completing it yourself. And And I will say this, I always suggest that you get legal representation, but I do realize there are some cases when people are not in the position to do that for whatever reason. And so finally, another section, obviously, on the petition would be for the signature of the person that is completing the petition. And if there is an attorney, the attorney would also sign the petition. And obviously, you have to present some type of identification, and the form is usually going to be notarized. And so that is information today on what you can expect in a petition when you are filing probate. And there are several different types of petitions. And I want to encourage you to come back next week. I'm live here every Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And next week, I'm going to cover the different types of petitions that need to be filed in probate. So I hope this information has been helpful to you. My name is Wanda Rochelle, and I am a licensed realtor and probate specialist serving Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. I will see you next Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I want to encourage you that if you're going through the probate process, just to take one day at a time. I know it can be overwhelming to people, especially if your loved one has passed away and you may be in a position where you're still grieving. I extend my prayers and my condolences to you. I pray that God would comfort you and your family. Be encouraged, and I'll see you next week.